Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to call to order the April 6th, 2023 park board meeting. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bender,
Here.
Mr. Dahlstrom,
Here.
Mr. Katsula,
Here.
Ms. McDonald,
Here.
Ms. Mahoney.
Here. I'll rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic
for which it
stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, any changes to the agenda?
We do that.
Computer just crashed.
Hey, this is our first opportunity for visitors,
There are no online visitors.
no online visitors. Anyone other than our affiliate friends? No? Okay. Guess we're to discussion.
Awesome. Tonight is our annual affiliate night, and I know DGYB will not be here tonight. We were expecting the rest. But we thank those that are here. I see Panthers here and so you're with Panthers? Okay. Roadrunners and Panthers.
Yeah.
So we'll just take who's
Okay.
here, but the annual opportunity for our affiliate groups that are parent volunteer organizations for the most part, that provide a lot of programming and youth sports in the community, in partnership with us as the park district. And I'd like to thank all the groups this year. We worked diligently and staff worked diligently on updating and modernizing our affiliate agreements. And as the board's aware, we're going to a yearly, so we can continually do that. And so with that, I will turn that over. Panthers are first, right? Based on who's here. So why don't we do that?
There, no problem. So this is gonna go with that.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I believe there was a PowerPoint presentation. Was that submitted by? any-
Yeah, Crystal. Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready. Chris. So Chris is bringing it up. I'm Rudy Garcia. I'm the president of the Panther organization. We're really happy to continue our relationship with the Park District that we've been doing for about the last 59 years. So this is going to be our 59th season. Next year will actually be our 60th season. So we're definitely ecstatic about that. We'd love to have something that will work with you guys to promote the 60 working together. No, it's all right. If you go to the next slide, that's where I was mentioning that it's our 59th season. No, it's okay. All right, so yes, I think we should go to the next one. Thank you. So each year, we're very fortunate that after COVID, our numbers have been increasing by 30% every year, which is a wonderful opportunity for all of our athletes. We do youth football and cheer. We do it all the way from, for football, we do it from 5 years old through 7-year-olds for a flag, and then from 7-year-olds all the way up to 13 years old, as long as they're not in high school for football. Our cheerleading program, we were fortunate to start a kinder program for our cheerleaders, which is fantastic to see the little girls out there cheering on the sidelines. We also offer a competitive program for some of our girls, and that goes from 1st grade all the way up to 8th grade. Go to the next slide, please. We also provide an opportunity for our alumni that as they move into the high school, allow them to volunteer as assistant coaches, and then they get their community hour services that we provide for them too. We have a lot of kids that have come back throughout the years as they continue to play on in high school to help us out, and even as they transition into adulthood. We have a lot of our coaches that are former alumni, and they just want to give back to the community. This year, we were very fortunate through some of our donations that we are offering a scholarship opportunity of our athletes. We want to ensure that every kid has an opportunity to play, and that a financial reason is not the reason that they cannot participate in any of our programs, whether it be cheerleading or football. One of the biggest things that we always promote here is sportsmanship, teamwork, honesty, responsibility, self-discipline. positive aspirations and confidence. All of our coaches strive for this. That is what we give back to the community and push for our kids to be better representatives of the Downers Grove Panthers, as well as the Downers Grove organization as a whole. If this transition into high school for them too. We talked extensively with the high school coaches and working with them to get in and come out and help with our camps as well. Oh, yes. So the majority of our athletes, they actually play at the high school level, and that's one of our biggest goals here. At some point, every kid will stop playing football or stop cheering. We want to ensure that it doesn't happen with us, and we want to ensure that it continues on into the high school level. We want them to have a fantastic season and then pursue that into the high school. It's if you talk to anybody who's cheered or played football, it's some of the fondest memories. They can't tell you how many games they won. They can't tell you, how many competitions they won, but they can tell you the experience that they had, the teamwork that they had, the friends that they made, and those have still continued on, and we want to continue that as well too. So again, I want to thank everybody for allowing us to come up here and speak. We look forward to continuing our relationship. We're ecstatic for the season. We're ecstatic for the next season. It's going to be our 60th. We'd love to do whatever we can to continue the strong relationship that we have. I want to thank everybody for allowing me the opportunity to come up here. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before you take off, I don't know if the board, and we have a couple of board members remote that are on work. If there's any questions or comments they have.
Oh, just thanks for all your volunteering. It's great. The community, I don't think realizes that if you guys weren't doing what you're doing, the park district couldn't be doing it. So it's much appreciated.
Glad to do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Roadrunners.
We also have a presentation as well. All right. Yeah, well, thank you for having us. I'm Taylor Waskin, the Executive Director and Director of Coaching for Roadrunners. This is,
Lisa Forrest, and I'm the administrator for Roadrunners.
if you go to the next one, that'd be great. So Roadrunners, you all know what we do. We're a travel club soccer in Downers Grove. And we're also one of, sorry, I'm losing my voice. We're a players first club, so it means we're a certified club. There's only 3 in Illinois. That means that we've just proven our commitment to club development, coach development, player development, parent education, and players' health and safety. So it is a players first. That certification is huge in the soccer world. I think go to the next one. So our coaching staff, we have 4 full-time coaches on staff, myself, and then the other director of coaching is Jared Apple. And then we also have about 23 part-time coaches on staff. On our staff, we have 11 D1, past D1 players. We, just like Panthers, we have 11 alumni on staff as well. So our kids they play through us, they play in college or they're attending college, and then getting them to coach with us in a paid position has been great. Really, our kids being able to see them go through the process as well. It's super cool. And then we also have 4 local varsity coaches on staff as well. Go to the next one. So just some achievements that we had. Purple player down there to the right, his name's Chris Brady. He joined the Chicago Fire when he was 16 years old, and now he's playing on their first team. So he was a Roadrunner player. Our U12 team, our 2011 team, is ranked #1 in Illinois right now. And then our boys 2005 premier team is one of the best teams in the state, also in the country. Later on we'll show, but right now they're currently in Disney Showcase or Dallas Cup, and that is down in Texas. It's one of the top tournaments in the world. It's consisting of like teams from 30 countries. It's a super cool environment. They've been down there this past week. Unfortunately, just got knocked out of it, but it was a very cool experience for them. And then they also attended Disney Showcase over Christmas. That is another one of the top tournaments in the country and world. So good for them. If you go to the next team. So our teams, we have 54 teams this year. And then also during our summer programs, our U23 women's and men's team plays. So not only are kids coming up through elementary school and middle school and high school playing, but when they go off to college, for the summers, they're able to come home and also continue playing for the club that they grew up playing for. So some players come back that are currently playing in college, and some just haven't played and want to play summer back with their old friends. So it's a super cool experience. So hopefully we'll send out on our Instagram and all that our games this summer, but it's a very cool experience.
And then we just want to show some of our growth here, as far as just from like last year alone, we now have 712 players this year. As last year we had 572. That's for the 3 seasons. And in 2020, 21, we had 436. We did have a lot of growth, both, but all ages, girls and boys alike. So it's been really good the last few years. So our financial assistance program, we're really proud of. We do a few different fundraisers in order to make sure every child is able to play. We service like 30 to 40 families at least. We have, different kids in different situations. We have a few kids who are here from Ukraine right now that we're helping. Everything from buying them shoes, So we're really proud of that. It's community programs. We every year we work with the social workers of District 58, Megan Hewitt, and then the different social workers, and we provide our families buy the gifts, and we provide at least 600 gifts each year for over 100 children in need. We also provide fleece blankets through the C3. That's one of our Roadrunner families sponsors, and then we do school supplies every year. We do many free clinics after school for the kids in the community. So we're really involved in the community. And this is just a list of all the teams we had and all the growth we had. Just a huge amount of growth, many teams at many different levels, 4 to 5 at every age group. So it's kind of nice to see everybody has a spot that way. So next one. And then Downers Grove North and Downers Grove South, we have always provided the escorts, the ball kids. The kids love it. The high school students love it. Many of our high school students are, or our players are playing at the high school level. So they love when the Roadrunner kids come in. It's really fun. We do it for the girls and the boys alike, and to really try to work with the community. Go next. Grove Express, that was the old bond field, and we took that over last year, and we have created an agreement where all the money that comes in from the Grove Express, we pledge to give back 100% to the community. So our portion of it, we were able to give over $12,000 to District 58, and that was for playground equipment. District 99 received over $12,000 for special education students, and then our own club gets a third of that, where we use towards our scholarships. So it's been a huge success and a really great thing for the community. And then our comedy show was huge this year. We almost sold out. We sold over 800 tickets, plus we donated to firemen, policemen, and different park district, whatever. And so it was almost sold out. It was a great success, and it allowed us to do extra things this year, like our hardship program. When somebody loses a job, or somebody needs some extra help. We also started a scholarship program where we're giving an actual college scholarship to 2 of our players. Uniform assistance, college pathway program. So all of this stuff comes from the money we raise from the 2 fundraisers that we do.
And then, so as Lisa mentioned, we give back to a lot of the members in our community, but we learned too that there's going to be more opportunities to give back to the Park District as well, which we're super excited about. So we met in January with the Park District, and we're still kind of working out all the details. We have another meeting on April 20th that we're looking forward to. But in the meantime, we did a free coaching clinic on March 24th, and that was just all DGPD coaches, parent coaches were invited. Our other director of coaching with me ran a few training sessions with various age groups to kind of show these coaches how to run a session, how to plan, how to prepare. Went very well. And then also something we're still in the process of working out, but we offered a free summer camp for late June. So not confirmed yet, but still working out those details. And then we recently purchased mini goals for a door hopper that like the DGPD adult program can use as well. I've seen their goals and they're pretty in rough shape right now. So we just put those up last week. So super cool to have those out there. And then something that we'll be talking more on the 20th, but one opportunity that we've kind of noticed in Downers Grove compared to other communities is that there's no futsal court in Downers Grove. So what futsal is, it's basically basketball. It's like 5v5. It's played with like a heavier ball, so the ball doesn't really like ping all over the place. But one thing we noticed is, if there's an old concrete space in Downers Grove or a old basketball court that is not being used, we'd love to talk to you guys next on April 20th when we meet about repurposing that old concrete into a futsal court for the community. There's some space at Doorhopper we'd like to discuss looking at. McCullum, Gilbert, there's a few different options that we'd like to look at. But again, you guys know the area better than anyone, so you might even have an idea on some existing concrete space that's not used. But from my experience, we see a lot of like adult teams playing at McCullum, and it might be like 10v10 on a really small field, and they really rip that field up. So having a futsal court in town, might relieve some of those pressure on the grass fields. I know that I would rather play on a futsal court than, a grass field, just because, the surface is going to be nice. So kind of dual purpose. I know that if we put a futsal court in town, that it will be booming with kids and adults playing all constantly. And then if you can go to the next one. And then just another kind of example of what those can look like. Okay, and one more, please. And this is our 05 team. They're currently in Dallas right now. Like I said, they won 2, lost 1, didn't make it through the next round. They're headed home tomorrow. So just a good shot of the guys. And then this next one is just some recent college commits over the past couple of months. Then you go to the next one. Like I said, it's been 43 years and we're just looking forward to continuing this relationship and making it stronger. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Before you take off.
Oh, yes.
Any questions from the board? Then Chris will bring our commissioners back up. There we go. Any questions?
Just once again, thank you for providing all these opportunities in town and out of town for our residents. It's great.
Oh, thank you.
And I do want to touch on the meeting. I do appreciate you guys coming in. We had a really constructive meeting. And like I said, we have another one, and I think we really kind of saw some opportunities that together we can do. So I really appreciate the time.
Yeah, sorry that we pushed it back so late. It was supposed to be before.
It's really hard to get us all together. So, but at least we're meeting in person now and not having to do Zoom all the time. So,
Don't know. Looking forward to it. Great. Thank you.
thank you. And you guys are more than welcome to stay, but I'm sure no one will care if you leave as well. So,
I have to get out of the field, so I'm gonna run out.
all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys. Thank you.
Nice.
On to master plan.
All right. Master plan. I want to do a little bit of update. I had put a memo with history. I know Kathy and Sandra were involved the last time we did the master plan, which ended 5 years ago. But hi, it's Billy at night.
Yes, Dr. Stalls.
All right, we will slip you in.
Okay, sir.
No worries. They can come in if you want, if you got kids with you. We're all about kids around here, so
Sorry.
no worries. So we're gonna switch gears back to affiliate night. And you're up. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm coming in late.
It does. Thanks.
Okay, yeah, this is great. The presentation's up. Okay, yeah, so my name is John Harrison, and I'm talking to you guys from the Downers Grove Dolls and the travel division affiliate as well, the Rebels. Came here last year to give the similar talk. So yeah, just give you guys a little bit of status about what's going on with our organization.
Just go ahead and tell me hit next.
Yep. Okay, so a little bit about our organization. We've been around for over 50 years. Started back in 1969. And we've developed into a pretty big in-house softball program. This year we have about 30 teams from kindergarten up through 8th grade. It's about 400 girls in our in-house program. And there's actually a lot of girls that come in from towns besides Downers Grove. I think when we counted, there were maybe 6 or 8 neighboring towns where girls would actually come in to play dolls. I don't know if that's because, you know, they don't have a large enough organization, or they don't have an organization at all for softball. So it's great to see that people are attracted to Downers Grove beyond our own community. So the Dolls, it stands for Downers Own Little Lassie Softball. But we also have a travel division called the Rebels. And in the Rebels organization, there are 12 teams this year. And that ranges anywhere from, say, 3rd grade all the way through high school. And so the organization over the last few years has grown. I think we had just 10 teams back in 2021, and now we've got a few more. So a lot of these girls that play in this organization feed into Downers North and Downers South, and also some Catholic schools in the area as well. Okay, so a little bit about how the organization is structured. You know, we're all volunteers. None of us are taking a paycheck at all. But we've got some in-house folks that manage different tasks on the in-house side. So I'm the president of the in-house, but we also have a president of the travel division, Jeff Arnold. We've got a treasurer for both in-house and travel, keep track of the finances, secretary Liz Bethel. We've added a couple more board members this year as well to help out because, well, more people is better. Organization. Okay, yeah, so we utilize a lot of fields in Downers Grove. Over the years, it's been a little bit tight. As you guys probably know, field space is a precious commodity this time of year. You can see the different fields that we use. You know, probably the better fields are McCollum and Dorhofer in Washington there. And it's Rebels and Dolls use them both. It has been a little bit tight in the fall, more than spring, it seems like. I know last year we had some issues with Panthers football trying to organize. They'll play in the outfield and softball will play in the infield. I don't know if there's a way to get more field space going forward, but that was probably one pain point that we had for fields. But other than that, it's been quite good. Let's see. Yeah, so some recent highlights. Within the last few years, we've started to kick off the fall season. So it wasn't up until recently we actually did fall. And we found about half the girls that play in the spring play in the fall. So it's been pretty attractive, and we hope that, keeps the girls interested in playing softball and staying competitive as they get older. We've also adopted some new rules over the last few years to try to stay competitive with other towns at similar grade levels. So that's primarily like getting girls to pitch at a younger age for the most part. And we're also trying to attract talent like for instruction. So Mary Connolly has helped us quite a bit for the organization. She's a former All-American pitcher and does quite a bit of instruction for the girls. Let's see, yeah, so this year you can see the sponsors that we have on the left-hand side there listed. There's a number of sponsors, a lot of them are returning sponsors in the community. We try to put it up and advertise on our website, and just spread the word about these local organizations and businesses. So it's great that, you know, people are reaching out for us, and it's nice, and it also helps us be able to give back in terms of scholarships. So Wade Gable was basically one of the founders of Dolls way back when. And so it's named after her. And last year, I think we gave away at least 3 different scholarships to some of the high school kids. So trying to stay involved in the community through sponsorships and scholarships. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I wanted to highlight here. I don't know if you guys have any questions at all.
Questions from the board? We also have 2 commissioners online. I'll let Chris connect them back. Hi, Brett. Does anybody have any questions?
Thanks for coming.
Okay, yeah, thanks sorry I'm late, but yeah, glad you're here.
Please, we know how it goes.
And thanks for what you do in the community. It's very, very needed, and everyone loves it, so.
Awesome, yeah, thank you guys for helping support it. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, you don't need to stay. You're
Okay.
more than welcome to, but you can go. I'm sure the kids want to go.
Okay, thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, I will start over again on the master plan. As I was mentioning, we finished our last pretty comprehensive master planning process that both Sandra and Kathy were involved in. We started at almost 2 years. It took almost 2 years for us to get to the point that we did on that process. It was really 3 pieces. It was State of the District, which is a document that really looked at all of our facilities, all of our buildings, all of our outdoor facilities, and really looked at those and did some assessments on them. The next piece was our athletic field survey. You heard it a couple times tonight, particularly, you know, in the spring and the fall, and it seems like everybody plays in the fall now. There just isn't quite enough to go around, and it does a fantastic job of trying to organize that, but we wanted to look at that field study to make sure that we were using those as efficiently as we could. And then the third piece was what we called our focus forward piece. And the other piece is we were really looking at 10 years. We were thinking the focus forward would be about 10 years. But just based on some difficulty that we had in the process, it ended up with just 5 years as looking focus forward. Looking at that, and we had that in your pack, just as a refresher for the board to be able to find those documents. If you take a look at those, I think we've done a really good job of the district in accomplishing most of those kind of things. I think part of that was it laid out themes and things that we wanted to accomplish, and then set the staff loose to kind of let's get creative in how are we going to do that. I do think it's good that we're not waiting 10 years and we're looking back, because between focus forward and now, we had a pandemic and a major shift in pickleball. I had a laugh when I read that document. I think it's barely mentioned in there, if at all. Our environmental education is talked about a little bit, but COVID certainly has changed that and changed some patterns. So I think it's probably good that we should look at that. Just to give some reference of scope, the company that we had, and Greg, don't get any ideas, please. The company we had a contract with them for $116,000 because they did not finish everything with us, and staff was doing a lot of the work. We ended up spending about $86,000. I do not believe that we need to spend that kind of money, because I think our state of the district and our field study is still very solid. Paul does an excellent job of keeping those updated, and I think with the talent that we have in-house, we can certainly update that. So it's really the focus forward piece that we need to look at. And I think looking at it kind of we did 5 years ago was that starting with the engage portion, where we engage with our community, our stakeholders, the board, the staff, and really get, what do you think we need? Where do you think we should be going? What do you think we should be doing? Taking all that information once we get that. And there's a number of ways to do that, from roundtables to surveys. The last time we did a scientifically valid survey, I think, again, the world's changed a lot with us being in COVID, that people are very comfortable with doing surveys online. We have a huge database now that Dawn's created, both users and non-users, and I think we can gain a lot of information from folks and look for trends and commonalities through that. And then take that information and we'll analyze it. You know, what's it telling us? And what do we envision, which was the third piece of that? Where do we want to go? And that's the final document that we would put together is, here's where we are, here's where we think we want to go, here's the themes we want to accomplish, set out some timelines for that, and then we'll start implementing that. And so that's the recommendation staff has. We have a consultant, Greg Petrie, with us tonight, one of two. I have another one coming in the next month. And just really focusing on that piece. We've talked to both Paul and I've talked with them. One of the things we're looking at is really having staff heavily involved in that. I think we have a lot of talent here. I think Paul has put a lot of work in the past in putting together a master plan. So our thought was really starting some of the engagement portions of that with the consultant, and then the analyze being around July or end of July, allowing Paul to finish a little project he's got going in McCollum so he can focus on that. So that's really the process we're looking at. So before I introduce Greg, just if the board has any questions as to where we were, I just kind of wanted to lay that back out, where we were and where we're envisioning to go.
Any questions
All right.
out there in TV
In
land?
the TV land. All right, with that, I'll introduce Greg Petrie, Petrie Consulting.
Thank you. Okay, well, I should probably tell you a little bit about myself and why you choose me to help you all out with this project. Go ahead. Okay. I've been in Parks and Recreation since I'm 15 years old. I'm 66, and it's over 50 years. And I've worked in everything from a day camp counselor to the CEO. Just recently retired from the Waukegan Park District after being there over 30 years, over 20 as executive director. I went to Penn State, and after that I did an internship in the Park District of Highland Park. Then I was in the Park Ridge Park District, Mundelein Park District, and then Waukegan. So when I retired, I said, hey, I've got to keep busy, give back to the profession that's been, it's never been a job. It's never been a career. It's been a lifestyle. I've really enjoyed it a lot. I'll continue to do it in some way or some fashion as I continue to age. But my consulting practice, I do a number of different things. I do strategic planning, I do leadership training. I've got a monthly retainer with an engineering firm, Gaywalt Hamilton, and I've been involved in a lot of master plans and comprehensive plans, whether it be the lead or whether it be to facilitate the process. And when Bill and Paul invited me down to speak with them, what you're looking to do is right in my wheelhouse. I prefer not to take the lead. It takes too much time. Now that during COVID, it was great to take the lead on a long project because you didn't have anything else to do. But now that COVID is over and I want to travel a little more with my wife, that's what I'm looking to do. So when I met with your staff, and I've been through this process myself. When I was in Waukegan, the board was very reluctant to spend. And as Bill mentioned, now you're talking $100,000 to $200,000 to do these studies. The prices have just jumped astronomically. the advantage you have with me is that I'm a one-man show. I don't have any overhead. You know, I'm doing this to give back. It's because I like it and I have a lot of expertise and can share my knowledge and skills with your staff. But anyway, that process of developing a comprehensive master plan, strategic plan, and incorporated with that, you've already got a great plan in place that has a tremendous amount of information. And I always tell districts, there's no point in reinventing the wheel. Your district hasn't changed that much over. I mean, it has changed in the last 10 years, but in the last 5 years, really hasn't changed. So a lot of the things like and Paul know what I'm talking about here, the level of service type, the raw numbers, you don't need to throw the baby out with the bathwater and have somebody come in and redo all those. Those are just a matter of myself sitting down with Paul and adjusting the numbers and maybe doing some calculations and then updating some mapping. It's important to get some feedback from the community and how you would like to do that. We certainly would involve the board in that decision. There's a lot of ways it's going to get. You could do a statistically valid survey. You can do a non-statistically valid survey. You're probably going to get the same amount of information. When I was in Waukegan, we had a lot of people always challenging us what we were going to do. Always. So we always did a statistically valid survey because we had people that were just constantly berating us and wanting us to prove what we were doing. So we wanted to have that in our back pocket. But a lot of communities, it's really not necessary. And if, sir, on the other hand, you could do focus groups, community forums, however you want to collect that data. And there's a lot of instruments to use to collect a lot of good strategic information. But the most important thing is you want to triangulate what the public, they're at the top, right? What the public thinks, what the commissioners think, and what the staff thinks. That's the most important. You need to triangulate that information. So ask similar questions to each group, compare that information, get everybody on the same page, as Bill was saying, so we know where we've been, where we're at, and where we want to go in the future. And so the process of having Paul lead this, again, is right up my wheelhouse. Me providing support, information, perspective, professional perspective on what's going on with trend wise in the nation and in the area, in the state, and so forth. I do a lot of work around the entire state. So I'm here to, you have my proposal. My style is on the USA Today version. You're not gonna, if you want the big, thick $200,000 study, I'm not your guy. If you want me to work with your staff and facilitate a really good quality program that has the essential information that you need to get the grants and produce an action plan that's within your resources, I'm your guy. So that being said, that's really, I hope you have questions. I'm not going to leave unless someone asks me a question. Nobody got asked any questions. I'm not leaving until you ask a question.
Okay. Who wants to ask the first question?
Please. That's why I'm here.
I'll start with one aspect. I did have correspondence, and maybe I hope staff are getting some of this too, but I just got an email today from the library that they're also doing a strategic plan for them. And they're doing all kinds of sessions and all. And I don't know what that would have to do with this, but I could see some at least coordinated effort or discussion.
Right.
As the process goes through with the local library.
That's one of the things I mentioned in my proposal that I always recommend taking a look at what the other associated organizations or affiliated governmental agencies in the area, whether it be the health department, the city, the police department, if they have any, your school district, your township, let's get their strategic plans or any studies that they've done. And you're going to be surprised how often they mention parks and recreation or the park district, and we'll want to extract that information and make sure that it's cited in your plan and seeing if there's any synergy in the future for any services or programs.
And a great school. I got one today too. So it seems like everybody's updating their
time.
Hey, Greg, this is John Dahlstrom. Thanks so much for your transparency. I appreciate it. I have a couple quick questions for you.
Yes.
One, how many projects are you engaged in currently?
Right now, the biggest project I'm finishing up is the Streamwood Comprehensive Plan. and I'm gonna be finishing that up within the next 6 weeks. I've been asked to join a team for a couple of proposals, but just to do strategic planning parts. So I'm, in terms of my time, I've got the time to work on this. The timeline that Paul and Bill had given me is starting in the summer, and so that would be right in my wheelhouse. So, yeah, no problem.
Got it. And the projects that you're currently wrapping right now, were they of similar size and scale, and perhaps did the objectives align also with what we are trying to achieve? Meaning bolster on to an existing comprehensive plan?
Mhm. Yes, the Streamwood is a comprehensive master plan. We did a strategic plan first, and then they did their comprehensive plan. Yes.
Got it. And sorry if I'm challenged with audio. I may be cutting in and out. My specific question was around the effort to bolster, on our focus forward, our previous master plan. The engagements that you've been on with Streamwood, what was the amount of time that you contributed to those efforts?
Oh, that one. Piece. I did have the man hours all plotted out. I want to say that one was in the about 300 hours, I think I put in there is what I budgeted. I want to say it's roughly about 300. The strategic plan was about 100 and the comp plan was about 300. But remember, I was the lead and took that thing from start to finish. I don't see that I'm going to be spending anywhere near that amount of time here with you all.
Yep. Okay. That's helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good job.
She's
What would be your anticipated, given the scope of what we're working, what you see us doing?
The amount of time, it's just impossible. And that's why I suggested that what I've done with other districts in this situation, where you really can't nail down a specific amount of time, is just report every 10 to 20 hours to them where I'm at with my time. Like, hey, I've reached 20 hours. Hey, we're good with it. Keep going. I've never had anybody say stop or you're I'm not going to let it get out of hand. I've been around for a long time. I know that they have a budget to adhere to, and I'll just work with them to make sure that we're aligned. And I would never walk in and say, "Oh my gosh, you owe me $50,000." That's not going to happen. I'll do a monthly bill, or if you want to, like I said, cap it at 10 hours, 20 hours, whatever you works with your finance department is fine by me, or you as a commissioner. It's fine. It doesn't matter to me.
And Greg and I had that conversation, and as I put in the memo, I think staff would ask for not to exceed amount that we were comfortable on, and then do the monthly reporting as to where we are. So it's not open-ended. I don't think anybody's comfortable with an open-ended. And then that way we could still monitor what we're doing. As the last experience that we had, we paid percentages out based on portions of completed work. And some of us recall, they thought they were done, and we said they weren't done, so we went back and forth. So I'm not sure anything's perfect, but I think there needs to be some parameters around that.
I don't know if I missed it, but what do you anticipate as the timeline for this? It's 6 months, 1 year?
We're anticipating by the latest at the end of the year. A little bit of the delay is, again, as I mentioned, I think it's a great opportunity for Paul to lead this project. We just got to get McCollum done first, so that he's got the time to spend on that.
And again, you've got a tremendous amount of information already that could easily be updated, and it's just a matter of incorporating some input from the community. However, whatever survey instruments we use, SWOT analysis, pest analysis, and pulling all that together. It's really not that difficult. Doesn't take a lot of time.
And I know it wasn't in your proposal, but Greg also did the CSPAR master planning process. And that's where we kind of work together.
Yes.
Any other questions?
And for me,
Okay, none for you, Brett? Okay. Okay, this is
thanks for
just,
coming in, Greg.
um, okay, sorry for that little editorial.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you all have my number if you have a,
Absolutely. I will be following up with you.
yes, super.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So
Have a nice holiday.
not looking for any action tonight, as we'll have one more presentation and then have board discussing this. Thanks.
Okay, any miscellaneous?
I do not.
Any miscellaneous, anybody else? Oh, so we have our second opportunity for recognition of visitors. No one online visitors, no visitors here. So I will announce the next Downers Grove Park District Park Board meeting will be held at the Recreation Center multi-purpose. We do have executive session tonight.
Correct. We'd be looking to go in executive session under 5 ILCS 120-2 C1 of the Opens Meeting Act.
So can I have a motion pertaining to that, please?
I move that we move to executive session. As Bill identified.
I'll second. Roll call, please.
Ms. McDonald,
I,
Mr. Katsula.
Aye.
Mr. Bender,
Hi.
Mr. Dahlstrom. We're gonna say that's a yes.
Aye.
Ms. Mahoney.
Aye. Okay, we are adjourned to executive session. Thank you.
Excellent.